Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we are going to solve day 14 problem of this month on LeetCode. Before starting, if you guys haven't subscribed my YouTube channel yet, then please go ahead and subscribe it. Now without any delay, let's get started with today's problem. Problem number 2536, increment submatrices by 1. So in this problem, you are given a positive integer n, indicating that we initially have n into n, zero indexed integer matrix filled with zeros, right? So if n value is 2, that simply means we have 2 into 2 matrix and all the values initially are 0. Okay. You are also given a 2D integer array query where query of I represents 4 values. One is starting value, row 1i, column 1i, and then ending value, row 2i and column 2i, right? You should do the following operation. We have to add 1 to every element in the sum matrix with the top left corner as row 1, column 1 of I, and the bottom right corner with row 2i, column 2i. Okay, this one, that is, add 1 to matrix of x y for all x values which are from row 1 of I to row 2 of I, and for all y's from column 1 of I to column 2 of I, right? So here if I say that these values are 0 0 1 1, that simply means if I just show you this matrices, so 0 0, so starting from here, right, this is nothing but your top left corner, and here 1 1 means the bottom right corner. So we have to fill all the values in between, right? All these values with what? With 1 1, right? Like this, 1 1 1, that's it. Okay, so this is what we need to do, and then in the end we have to return the matrix after performing every query. Okay, clear? Now if you see this example number 1, right, your n value is 3, so 3 into 3 matrix first thing, right? And here let's say 0 index 1 index 2 index 0 index 1 index 2 index. Then these are the queries, 1 1 2 2 2, right? So 1 1, that simply means that this is the starting top left corner, 2 2 means bottom right corner, right? So now in all these values, right, in all this box we have to fill 1 1 1 1 like this, right? So here in the first query we add 1 to every element in the sum matrix with the top left corner as 1 1 and the bottom right corner as 2 2. That's it. Now see the next query, starting from 0 0, right? From here we have starting, right, and until here we have to do. So in this is the previous case, right, when we execute query 1. Now we are going to execute the query number 2, right, second query. So here we had 1 every place, right? So here 1 1 1, and here it was 1 previously, so add one more 1, so we'll get 2. That's it. Clear? This is what we need to do, right? See this example number 2 now. N is equal to 2, 2 into 2 matrix, right? And here 0 0 1 1, so starting from here ending at this particular position, so we have to fill all the values with 1 1 1 1. That's it. Clear? So here these are the constraints, right? If you see, okay, so n value is 500 and queries dot length is 10 to the 4, right? So definitely we have to iterate over all the queries to perform the sum operations, right? So I'm going to say that q, definitely q is going to be time complexity, right? And here one more thing I'm doing. Okay, so here if this is my query, right, so in this query this is my starting point, right, and then this is my ending point. So here also I'm iterating over all these cells, right? So I'm running two loops, right? I'm running two nested loops, right, starting from this, right, because I'm iterating over row wise and also I'm iterating over column wise as well, right? So in this case, this may be very large, right? This may be very large, okay, and it's up to 500, right? It is saying, right? So here I can say in worst case scenario n square is going to be time complexity, so overall q into n square, that's what I'm going to say, right? The overall time complexity. So here if you put all these values, you are going to get 10 into 10 to the power 4 into n square, like 500 square, right? So this is going to be a time complexity, right? So let's see if we just apply this brute force, can we pass our solution or not, right? So brute force is very simple, right? So I'm not going to write the code step by step, so here you can understand from this, right? So with this, since if you see only 31 test cases we have, right, and we are able to pass all the test cases with this brute force, right, definitely this is not the best solution, right? If let's suppose course size is much more bigger and we have some good examples, right, LeetCode may add a few more test cases in the future, right? And in the future we may not be able to pass the brute force also, right? So I'm also going to show you the optimal approach, but first let's understand this brute force. I'm creating one matrix, I'm iterating over the query, so definitely we have to run off q time complexity. Then in the helper method I'm just going to pass my starting row, SR means starting row, starting column, ending row, ending column, and the matrix, right? So if you see this helper method, so we are running two nested loops, right? So starting row to ending row and less than equal to I'm passing, right? J is equal to starting column to ending column less than equal to, right? I'm just updating the value of matrix of I of j plus plus, right? So this helper method is running for n square, right? Because of nested loops, and this query of q. Solver time complexity is of q into n square, right? And we are somewhere here, if you see 466 milliseconds, right? So this solution is very simple, brute force, right? But we need to find out any best solution, right? Okay, so now let's see some best solution for this problem, right? Optimal approach. So let's say you have a matrix like this, okay? And here, let's say this is nothing but 5 into 5, okay? So let me draw it 5 into 5, something like this. Okay, so now this is nothing but 5 into 5 matrix, right? 0 1 2 3 4, 0 1 2 3 4. Okay, so now let's say you have query like this, 0 0 1 and 1. Okay, something like this initially, let's say. All right, so that simply means that 0 0 means starting from here and ending at this particular position, right? So this box, in this box I have to update all the values to 1 1, and rest all should be 0, right? This is what we want, right? Like this is what we want, right? But here, instead of iterating like this, right, of n square nested loops, I want one shortcut, right? I want one shortcut. So what I'm going to do here, this is my starting point, right? This is my starting point. So here I will do +1. Okay, here I'm doing +1, and now if there is some horizontal flow, okay, of this one, so here +1 and here initially 0, so in 0 if I do +1 I will get +1 only, right? Here in 0 if I do +1 I will get +1 only, but at this particular position what we need 0 itself, 0 only, right? So I need to break flow here, right? So what I'm going to do here, in the starting I'm adding +1, and here nature will be changed, right? So here I'm writing -1, right? So now if you do the horizontal sum of this, right? So this is nothing but like a difference array technique, right? So initially this is +1, this is 0, so 0 plus 1 is +1, +1 minus 1 is 0, 0 plus 0 0, 0 plus 0 is 0, right? So initially all values are 0 only, right? All here, right? This is -1. Okay, so see, now that is why I'm writing -1, right? That is why I'm writing -1 here. Okay, because we need 1 1 here only, right? So here I'm breaking the horizontal flow, right? So with the help of this I am breaking the horizontal flow. Okay, now here also I need to break a flow here as well, right? If I am seeing in this direction, right? So +1, and here we need +1, but here starting from here I need 0 0 only, right? So if I'm applying this technique, right, of prefix sums, this is another prefix sum row wise, right? And now if I do prefix sum column wise, so here I need to break, right, break the flow. So here I will do -1, right? So here I am going to write breaking the vertical flow, right? Clear? Right. Now here if you see what will happen now, what will happen now, here +1, right? So initially all the values are 0 only, okay, all the rest values are 0 initially. This is the case, right? Initially this is the case, all the values are 0 only. And here if this value is, if this cell is available, right, we are not going out of bound, so I'm operating -1. If this cell is available and I'm not going out of bound in the row wise, so I'm operating this, right? So what I'm saying here, so let's say this is your R1, this is your C1, this is your R2, this is your C2, right? So if your C2 plus 1, right, C2 plus 1 is less than n, right? So C2 plus 1, that simply means 1 plus 1 2, right? This is available, right? Only then I am operating -1, right? If it is out of bound, then I don't need to operate, right? Same way, if your R2 plus 1 is less than n, right, only then you are operating this, right? Okay, so now if I do the prefix sum row wise, if I do the prefix sum row wise, so what will happen? So +1, 0 plus 1, I'm going to get +1 here. Okay, +1 -1, I will get 0 here, right? 0 plus 0, I will get 0, 0 plus 0 0, done. Okay, so just do one thing here. Just watch these white color values, right? 0, 0, 0. These are the new values, right? And this is plus 1. Here, let me write it here, plus 1. Okay. Now here, this is row wise, right? This is correct. Plus 1, then plus 1. Okay. Then 0, because plus 1 minus 1 is 0. Then 0, then 0. Okay. Here again, start from 0 itself. Okay. This 0, 0 plus 0, 0, 0 plus 0, 0, 0 plus 0, 0, 0 plus 0, 0. Here minus 1. This is minus 1 plus 0, minus 1, minus 1 plus 0, minus 1, minus 1 plus 0, minus 1, minus 1 plus 0, minus 1. Here it is 0, right? 0, 0 plus 0, 0, 0 plus 0, 0, 0 plus 0, 0, 0 plus 0, 0, 0, 0 plus 0, 0, 0 plus 0, 0, 0 plus 0, 0, 0 plus 0, 0. Right? So this is nothing but prefix sum row wise, right? We are done with prefix sum row wise. Now we have to do the prefix sum column wise. Okay, column wise if you do. So here see the white colors now. Okay, these are the updated values, right? And I'm going to use brown color. Okay, so these white colors, okay, plus 1, so plus 1 only, right? Thus the see this brown colors now, plus 1, plus 1 plus 0, right? Old value is 0, so plus 1, plus 1 minus 1, old value is minus 1, so I will get 0, 0 plus 0, 0, 0. Okay, here column wise I'm doing, right? Plus 1, plus 1 plus 0, plus 1, plus 1 minus 1, I'm getting 0. Good. 0 plus 0, 0, 0 plus 0. Good. Good. Getting 0. Okay. Now here minus, here last time 0, right? White color. So I'm getting 0, 0, 0, right? Now here there is one twist. 0 minus 1, I'm going to get minus 1, right? Minus 1, 0, I'm getting minus 1. Minus 1, 0, I'm getting minus 1. Here same 0, 0 plus 0, 0, and here previous time minus 1, so I'm getting minus 1. Here also I'm getting minus 1. Here also I'm getting minus 1. Here 0, 0, minus 1. Here also I'm getting minus 1 plus 0, minus 1. Minus 1 plus 0, minus 1. Okay. Now here this is correct. If you see this brown color, plus 1, plus 1, plus 1, plus 1. This is correct, right? And if you see this part, right, if you see this part, this is also correct. We are getting 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 only. And if you notice this part, here also it is correct. We are getting 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 only, right? But if you see this part, right, if you see this part, here we are getting minus 1, but this should not be the case, right? We should get 0 only, right, here. So this part we need to fix, right? So in order to fix this, what I'm going to do now, right, what I'm going to do, so here I am breaking the horizontal flow, here I am breaking the vertical flow, but here we are breaking it 2 times, right? Horizontal and vertical 2 times. That is why I'm subtracting 2 times here, right? So that is why we are getting minus 1, right? So we are not handling it properly. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to check one more condition, right? I'm going to check one more condition, that if your R2 plus 1 is less than n, and C2 plus 1 is also less than n, right? So that simply means I am checking if this column is there, right? So if this column is there, then in that case just update this value to plus 1, right? Add one more value to it. Okay, so now if I do the same thing here, right, if I do the same thing here, let's say this is nothing but your 5 into 5 matrix, right? 1 2 3 4, and here 1 2 3 and 4. Okay, so now here you have to do plus 1, and here you have to do minus 1. Here you have to do minus 1, and here if this is existing, here you have to do plus 1, right? Now if you start updating the values, right, you have to just same query, right? 0 0 1 1, right? This is what, so you fill all these values, minus 1 here, and here plus 1, right? So here plus 1, you are going to get plus 1. So here minus 1, it is going to become 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0. It is going to become minus 1 minus 1, and here it is going to become 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 0. That's it. Now after that, next time vertically we need to do, so plus 1, here it is going to become 1, here it is going to become 0, right? 0 0. Okay, plus 1, plus 1 1, right? 1 plus 1, 1 plus 0 1, 1 plus minus 1 0, correct? 0 0, correct? 0 0, here it is 0 only. See, here it is 0 now, right? 0 0 0, then here also 0 0 0. So we are getting correct now, right? We are getting correct now, right? So why that was happening? So here if you see, initially this part, okay, this part, so minus 1 is affecting this, right? This and this. And here if you see this minus 1, when we are doing column wise, right, so this minus 1 was affecting this, and this 2 times, right? This common value 2 times when we were doing, right? So that is why in order to balance it out, I'm doing it just one time. Okay, just one time I'm adding it, right? Plus one I'm doing it, that's it, right? I don't want it 2 times. Okay, I don't want it to factor 2 times, right? So only plus one I have to do, right, in order to fix this nature. Okay, so that is the reason I am doing this here. Okay, so that's it, that's what you need to do, right? So I hope that this part is clear to you guys, right? Why we are doing all this, right? So okay, that's it. So now let's see how I'm going to solve this problem. Okay, so you can take the same example here. So let me do one thing here. So let's take these two queries now, right? So this is what you have, right? So 1122, so here add plus 1, and uh, this side we don't need to do anything, and this side also we don't need to add anything, because and this side also we don't need to do anything, right? Because these columns are out of mode, these cells, right? That's it. And here 0 0, so here you have to add plus 1 in the starting point, and now 1 1, right? So here you have to do minus 1, here you have to do minus 1, and here you have to do plus 1. Okay, this is what you need to do, right? So now start filling all these values, right? So first row wise, so row wise if you fill all these values, so I am filling row wise here. Okay, I am filling row wise here. So 1 1 0 0 1 and 1, and here minus 1 minus 1, right? And here I'm going to do what? I'm going to do 0, right? Minus 1 plus 1 0, right? So now this is done. Now we have to check column wise, right? So column wise I'm going to do all this stuff. So here see 1 1 plus 0 1, and here it's going to become 0 1 1 plus 1 2 2 minus 1 is 1 0 0 plus 1 1, and 1 plus 0 is 1, right? That's it. So this is my output, 1 1 0 1 2 1 0 1 1. That's it, this is my output. Okay, first, so I will create one difference array is equal to new int, and here I'm going to write n plus 1, and here I'm going to write n minus 1, n plus 1. Okay, n plus 1, right? Now here after that you can just simply do one thing, you can iterate over all the queries, right? Queries, and here let's take r1 as q of 0, r2 as q of 1, r3 c1 as q of 2, and c2 as q of 3. Clear? This is done. Now after that I'm just going to operate difference of here r1 c1, right? The starting. Okay, so here in this I'm just going to add 1 to it. Okay, whatever the current value, I'm adding 1 to it. Now here few conditions I have to check, right? If c2 plus 1, right? If this value is less than n, clear? So in that case your difference of r1 and here c2 plus 1, right? This value we have to subtract, right? And here same thing you can okay, let's write it now. If your r2 plus 1, right? If this value is less than n, right? So in that case your difference of r2 plus 1, right? And here c1, and here you have to subtract this with 1 also, right? To break the flow when you are going to traverse from vertically, right? So that's what you need to do here. And here one more condition we have to write, if r2 plus 1 is less than n, and c2 plus 1 is less than n, right? So in that case the difference, okay, is here r2 plus 1, right? And here c2 plus 1. Okay, this should be incremented with 1, right? To balance it out, right? 2 times we were doing same thing. Okay, so here in the end, here you have just create one answer array, new int, and here n and n, and here we have to build the prefix sum row wise, right? So here for int I is equal to 0, I is less than n, and here I plus plus. Okay, and here int cur is equal to 0, and here for int j is equal to 0, j is less than n, and j plus plus. Okay, so here you have to update your cur as difference of I and j. Okay, and here answer of I and j, you have to set it to cur. Okay, so see here, this row wise we are doing, right? Build prefix sum row wise, so it is running for of n square only, right? Only one time, only one time. Okay, so here when we are doing the row wise, so of n square you can say, okay, n square, because we have row and column, right? And this is also of n square column wise, right? But these two are going to be separate operations, right? Of n square, and this again of n square, of n square plus of n square. So I'm just, that's why I'm just writing n square one time here, of n square. Okay, so only one time I'm writing. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, this build prefix sum column wise, so here instead of I now, just change it to j. Okay, j is less than n, and j plus plus. Okay, and here cur is equal to 0, and here I is equal to 0, I is less than n, and here I plus plus, and here cur is equal to cur plus is equal to answer of here you have to just update the, instead of difference now you have to take the updated matrix answer, right? Answer of I of j, and answer of I j you have to update with cur, right? And that's it, and here you have to return answer, right? So here we are running this for q time, right? Now done, q time, right? And then after that here q plus n square plus n square, q plus 2 into n square, or you can say q plus n square. That's it, right? So now let's run it. So let's fix this. Okay, so here what is the issue we are getting? Int cannot be converted to int. Okay, all right. So here this is difference here, right? So 2D array done. Let's run it again. So now there is some issue, so let's see where we are getting it. Okay, so let's try to fix it. Here this is nothing but your c1, right? Row 1 column 1, right? This is nothing but your row 2 and column 2. Okay, that is the issue, right? So now let's run it. So see, all the test cases has been accepted, right? Now let's submit it. So see, our solution is accepted, right? So I hope that you guys are able to understand today's problem, and if you guys still have any doubts, then please feel free to ask in the comment section. Till then, keep coding and keep practicing. Meet you in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.